Something very dramatic happened yesterday. We see the Pi Core Team Wallet 2 move Coin worth $100 million. So in the face of this very dump, we see that very movement of Coin worth $100 million around this very area. So in the face of a dumping market already, and we see that very activity on the blockchain, what that mean is that it feels a lot of panic in the market and lead to this very significant dump that we see yesterday, which was very, very devastating. And one thing about on-chain wallet is that people are actually following that wallet and monitoring that wallet, and a movement of a coin from that wallet signifies two things. Number one is either the team want to sell off some of their Pi coin, which means dumping the coin on the community, or they want to use the money for something else, either for development or for listing purpose or some stuff like that. So that is what we see yesterday that caused this very aggressive dump all the way to the downside. I know a lot of people may not be aware of this very information because already the market was dumping from here, okay, up to this very point, and we see that very on-chain activity that caused the rest dump that we see in the market yesterday. And of course, you may be saying market is recovering right now. That is fine. But one thing that is also very important here is that, we took a position right here, and our stop loss was at this very point right here, and we were stop out. And one thing I always want to do when I'm setting stop loss, I want to set a stop loss that is not big. However, it should be in a position where if market go against me, market should go really well against me, just like we see in this very case. Market go against us and go right down. Not that markets go against us, take us out and move in that predicted direction. So that is what we see yesterday, and right now market is moving upward. So what next for the Pi token? That is very important. Now, if you look at this very price action, something very important here is that we have a fair value gap around this very area. So we have a fair value gap right here, which is a very important fair value gap. And we have another fair value gap right at this very point also. Okay, this is a very little fair value gap we see right here. So a fair value gap is here as well. Now, this two fair value gap is very, very important for market moving upward. Of course, you see this fair value gap right here that have been mitigated already by the market. Okay, because market come right here, we see this very bearish candle mitigate this fair value gap, come back down. So what I am expecting right now, first of all, among this one, the first one here is mitigated. This one is still very active, and this one is still very active as well. But among all these, the most important one is this very one we are seeing right at this very point. Why? Because after this very area, there was an accumulation at this very point. We see accumulation right here, and this is our shelf. So accumulation right here, and we have this our high at this very point. So what that means is for market to move upward, first of all, we want to see the market move and close above this our fair value gap right here, because of course it is mitigated, but the market have not moved above the fair value gap. So it's no longer a fair value gap to consider, but it's a fair value gap to look at, in the sense that if market move upward, okay, and close bullish above this very area, then that means market is going to continue into this very point, which is very important. And also, if we see a move into this very area and market did not go above it, and we see a bearish candle that begin to form from here, then that means this market is going to come back down. This is very important. Another possible scenario is if the market move upward, break here, close above bullish, and market move into this area, we should be expecting spike. So this area is a potential area where market is going to come back down. And if market move upward as well, market move straight into this fair value gap, then market have potential of spiking down as well. So the most important fair value gap right here is this very one right at this very point. Why? Because at this very area we see accumulation. from this very point before we see that massive sell pressure. So the massive sell pressure occur after this very accumulation, build up of momentum, and then market crash all the way to the downside. So this is what you must have to pay attention to right now. So expect the market to move up, and we should see market come back down if the market did not close bullish above this very fair value gap right here. And if market do close above here, then expect market to continue into this very area, which is super important right now on the price action. So this is the major reason why we see this very crash all the way to the downside yesterday, because of the movement of $100 million worth of Picoin from the Picore team wallet too, which is a very important wallet. And all this data are on chain. You can check it out. BTC USDT price action. If you look at this very price chart, yesterday market go all the way to the downside. In fact, last weekend market was going down. And one thing very important on this very price action is that if you look at this very area, we see that very crypto reserve announcement by the United States that caused this very pump all the way to the upside, and market dump. Of course, market should retrace. But one thing that is very important as well on this very price action is that after the crypto summit in the White House, that was here on Friday, we begin to see the market begin to dump as well. And that very dump is very important. Why is the dump? We are supposed to see positive sentiment, which is very important. Now, if you take a look at this very crypto summit that happened and read about what the reserve is, you discover that this very area, if you read this very third point, treasury and commerce can develop budget neutral strategies for acquiring additional Bitcoin. This is to be developed, okay? Now, if you read through all of these, you discover that what the US is doing is that they are actually stockpiling Bitcoin that was forfeited or Bitcoin that was seized maybe from criminal activities and some stuff like that. And this is going to form this very reserve. So what that means is that they are not actually implementing immediate buying of Bitcoin or any other crypto. So the sentiment that we see right here was that there is going to be a crypto reserve, which brings optimism in the market, and then market retrace, which is very fine. But this very point where we see after the reserve summit, after the summit on Friday, market began to dump all the way to the downside. Why? Because there was no real plan on an immediate accumulation of Bitcoin by the United States. Rather, it was a reserve that is going to be formed as a result of Bitcoin that was forfeited or Bitcoin that was taken from criminal activities. So this is very important. So that is what caused the dump all the way to the downside. So the US is actually accumulating Bitcoin from forfeited Bitcoin or Bitcoin taken from criminals. Not that they are actually implementing an immediate buy of Bitcoin. That is why we see the market dump all the way to the downside. And that was a very negative sentiment if you read this very information very well, especially this very third point right here. And one thing that is also very important on this very chart is that the market come back down, which is very fine. But right now, we have some key information on this very price action, which we need to pay attention to. And the first thing here is that we have this very fair value gap that is mitigated right here, okay, with this very candle forming right now. So we should consider it. And we have another one right at this very point as well. So we see another one right here. So another fair value gap appear at this very point. Okay, so two important gaps that we see at this very point, which the market is reacting to one right now, which is very fine. So what I am expecting on the Bitcoin price chart is that if you look at it, market should move upward, just like we are seeing right now. Market should move upward, and we should have rejection from here as we are seeing right now. But if the market go bearish, okay, after coming into this very area, then we should see a continuation of this bearish move to the downside. And if we see a bullish candle, that is market move upward and close bullish above this very fair value gap, then that is going to move us into this very fair value gap as well, and it should be mitigated. And that is very important. And possibly we should see a reaction from this very area to the downside. One important level you should pay attention to on this very chart for Bitcoin to move upward is that we need to cross this very area right here of $86,000. Okay, market need to break through all of these gaps and move all to this very point and close above this very area right here where these sell orders were injected. And then once we see that the market is going to correct, because market is going to move upward again after this very possible scenario. So what that means is market move upward, collect liquidity, come back down, retest any of these fair value gaps, and then begin to move upward. So what I want to see to be very positive on Bitcoin this very month of March is for the market to move upward. We should see the market move upward from this very point all the way to the upside and create a new high by collecting liquidity from this very area so that we can see a retracement and continuation of the market to the upside. This is very, very important if you are a technical analyst right now. Pay attention to this because I believe this is a key area that you should pay attention to be in the right direction of the market. So this is a very important thing, guys. So this Bitcoin reserve was not very favorable for crypto because there was no immediate action taken to buy Bitcoin by the US government. It was a forfeited Bitcoin that is going to be used to start up the reserve first. However, they are going to buy Bitcoin later after they come out with a plan that is mentioned right here. And one important thing also on the price of Pi is that if you look at it, market is recovering, which should do and follow these very gaps that we are seeing in the market as well. And I believe market is going to recover as well. But does it mean if you want to buy Pi on the long term, let's say 1 to 2 years, I believe this is the best place to buy. Let's say, for example, if you have $50 and you want to buy Pi, you can use $10 or $15 and buy year first and wait. And if you bought around this very area, okay, for a long-term holding, then I also believe this is another point to buy as well, okay, by dollar cost averaging. So if you buy $10 from $50 around this area market done, you buy another $10. That is dollar cost averaging. And if markets move up to this very point, you should be in profit. That's very simple. So the cause of this massive dump on Pi was because of the movement of Pi coin worth $100 million. And this is very important. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like for this video, subscribe if you have not, and turn on the bell notification for more crypto videos like this one. Also check the channel for other crypto content. Join our Telegram channel, the link in the description of this very video and also in the pinned comment for more crypto updates, investing and trading strategies, especially market sentiment, because it's very important. Thanks for your support.